Maybe I should complicate this before I start speaking here. Welcome to Comics League Live Movie Night. So we have concluded our watch of the Zack Snyder DC movies. So now we're going to the next best thing, the Christopher Nolan Batman movies. So to do this, I got two of the largest Nolan fans ever. We have Nick from the Phoenix Press. What is up, Sa?
I'm just wondering, what is love? That's my.
I am Phoenix.
Yeah, I had to. And we got Taladia. What's up, dude?
What's up, everybody?
All the hopes and dreams of Krypton live in you now.
There you go.
You know what you should do?
What?
As soon as it says all the hopes and dreams live with you now, you should have the Taladia Plays logo kind of fade in, because it's got like that perfect circle. It's like got like just a perfect framing, like all the hopes live and dream with you. I just have the logo kind of fade in. That would be so great.
I will probably do that. We're talking about Batman Begins, the first Nolan Batman movie. And what's interesting, fun fact, you know who was for the viewers. You know who was screen tested to be, not screen tested, but who was considered to be Batman?
Cillian Murphy?
Yes, and Henry Cavill. Superman was almost Batman. And he's able to catch speeding bullets. I had to.
I mean, how many times? Like, I think there's at least, because I know he was Henry Cavill was actually. We'll talk about this when we do Superman Returns, but he was actually the runner-up to Brandon Routh.
And well, that's certainly ironic, isn't it?
And okay, well, I was going to do another fact with Amy Adams, but we'll save that for Superman Returns.
Yeah. So what's interesting about this movie is that this movie kind of was part of the whole renaissance of comic book movies, and that it proved to people that comic book movies could be like serious films. Yes, Nick.
So the thing to kind of expand upon what you're saying, you've got to remember the context in which this movie was released. This movie was released in 2005. Like, when was Iron Man released in 2007 or 08? Which one?
08.
2008.
So this is 3 years before Iron Man and the start of the MCU. Okay, X-Men came out in 2000. Spider-Man came out in 2002. All right, so we're already starting to see a comic book renaissance, but they were still kind of like they're trying to be taken seriously. Some of them were, but they were still kind of in like the campy kind of thing. And also you got to realize this is the first Batman movie since Batman and Robin in '98, which effectively tanked the franchise. In fact, when this movie came out, a lot of people were confused. They thought this was a sequel to Batman and Robin because even by 2005, because you got to realize sometimes it took a long time for sequels, because like Alien came out in '79 and then Aliens came out in '86. So sometimes we'd have 5-6 years in between sequels. So this length was understandable. So
yeah.
This movie came out in an entire, like, we're viewing it with our modern 2022 lenses, but also you got to kind of have at least kind of frame of mind of 2005, where the state of comic book movies were at the time and where they were heading, but they weren't quite there yet.
Yeah, exactly. And this was honestly my introduction to the Batman character, because I knew Superman, because my first Superman movie was the 1978 Superman movie, because my dad, when I was probably as most Superman fans, because here's the thing, when my dad saw that I was getting into superheroes at a young age, he showed me the Superman movie, and then Nolan's movie came out in theaters. Granted, I was a little scared of Scarecrow, but that's understandable because they made him terrifying in this movie. But when I saw this, what instantly struck me is, because here's the thing about Batman, this movie hammers in the fact that Batman's a career option. All you need is money and training, and you could be Batman.
So speaking of training, this film does something that no other Batman film does. Like, obviously not up until this point, but in not really sense, is really showcase Bruce's training. You know, because before then it was like, oh, Bruce took 8 years training, but it wasn't really defined what it was. I mean, you know, there was bits here and there, but it was never anything concrete about what his training was.
Mm-hmm. This showed
And,
it.
yeah, and I thought it was really good, and did a really good job of both setting up the story, but also motivation for why he trained. He wanted to get in the mind of a criminal, what motivates to do what they do. So he literally became a criminal. Like, in order to understand criminals, he had to become one himself.
Speaking of that, when he's in prison, my favorite line that immediately showed me that Christian Bale's Bruce Wayne is when the criminal he's fighting goes, "I am the devil," and then Batman goes, "No, you're not the devil. You're practice."
Oh my God, yes! And then he like,
That is
it's like,
so
what are you doing?
Batman.
No. And then like another great line, like what are you doing? Protection. I don't need protection. Not protection for you.
them.
You ruined it, bro. Like your
My
protection.
stream.
Protection for you? No, protection for them. And it's like they cut to them like,
They're all down the ground, yeah. Now, where'd you guys think of Neeson as Ra's al Ghul? I'll start with Taladia.
I think Ra's al Ghul as Liam Neeson was a really plot twist. I wasn't expecting that at all. I was just like, wait a minute, because they had an old guy play Ra's al Ghul, and I was just like, wait. I was very young at the time, so I didn't know, like, whether Liam Neeson, who was Liam Neeson playing, because I was like, what, 14, 13, I'd say, 13, 14. So I wouldn't have known who was in the movie, and I got to get to see the movie twice, one at the cinemas and one at DVD.
I mean, like,
Yeah, go ahead.
honestly, having a placeholder for Ra's al Ghul and having the real Ra's al Ghul being like the servant, that is such a Ra's al Ghul thing to do. Like,
Because remember, he talks about the value of deception in the movie.
Mm-hmm. And it's like this is also kind of a film where it's like it literally creates a justified reason for all the Batman elements. Like it actually contextualizes everything in a real world setting. Like it's kind of what I like to what's commonly called hyper reality, where like it's reality based, where it's like made to be like, okay, if this could happen, but like obviously no one's gonna dress up as Batman and go flying around. But like if you could do it in real life, how would it be done? This is kind of a tone called hyper reality, and it's actually one of my favorites to play in.
Yeah, and well, then again, that's always kind of been Batman. But the thing is that this movie made it even more so, because when you think about it, Nolan made all of Batman's gadgets just stuff that was originally intended for the armed forces. It's like the Batmobile was a bridge-making vehicle, which, by the way, I love that scene where he drives around. Well, first off, he goes. Fox goes, "Oh, the Tumbler? Oh, you wouldn't be interested in that." And he drives it around. He gives him the whole thing. He goes, so "What do you think, Mr. Wayne?" And then Bruce Wayne goes,
Does it come in black?
I just love the way he says that with that smile. That is Bruce Wayne.
Okay. So before that, can we kind of rewind it a little bit to where it's like they're doing like the board meeting, and then they have Mr. Earl, who played by Rutger Hauer. So rest in peace, you magnificent bastard. Rutger Hauer, Roy Batty from Blade Runner, legendary actor. I love how it's like, oh, they got someone on, and it's like he goes out there. It's Mr. Wayne, literally teaching.
He's helping his assistant.
It's like, I'm sure they'll call back. It's like, oh, it's like, I love how it's like, and he's like talking like, tell them Bruce Wayne is here, and like the secretary just looks up and just like, oh,
yeah, I love it. By the way, I want to say this right now. This one is my favorite of the Nolan movies.
Same.
And here's the thing, because first off, I love the bat suit, because I get why they had to change it, but they could have changed the cowl to make it so he can move his head. It's like, because here's the thing, the other bat suit, while cool looking, because I have an action figure of it, hang on, while the Dark Knight suit is pretty cool, it's too lightly armored, I think, for Batman. Granted, he has to be able to move around, I get that, but it's too light. The other one looked intimidating as hell.
I mean, in Dark Knight Rises, he literally got stabbed through his armor.
Yeah, and he said, okay, the plates will separate and they'll be able to stab you. So I'm like, okay, at least they paid that off. But I love Lucius Fox. He's like, okay, don't tell me, you don't have to tell me what you're doing, Mr. Wayne, but don't take me as an idiot. In other words, I know what you're doing.
I love that dynamic between them, because it's just like, it's just so great. It's like I know you're Batman, but I want but please give me plausible deniability. Like I think he even says it in the film. So it's like if someone asks what you're doing, I don't have to deny it.
My favorite scene of Lucius Fox, my absolute favorite of the entire trilogy, is when that one accountant figures out Bruce Wayne's Batman is trying to extort him. So Fox goes, okay, so let me see if I have this straight. You think that Bruce Wayne, billionaire playboy, is a vigilante who spends his nights running across rooftops, beating up criminals to a pulp, and your move is to blackmail this person? Good luck. I love that.
I love like the look on that guy's face. You can just totally see him.
It just goes down. You can see his smile just completely like deflates. Like, oh yeah,
and then
he's
he just
right.
just takes it and just like walks away. It's a joke. Like that's a Dark Knight.
Actually, he leaves all the materials with Fox. He's like, nope, no, I'm done. I wash my hands of this. I love it so much.
And I think there's even like a little shot of like he hands it to Fox. He's like, yep, smart move.
Yeah, exactly. But another one, I loved Michael Caine as Alfred. He was great. He's my second favorite Alfred.
And you can't lift a bloody log.
Yeah, or I love where we're like, so everyone thought Bruce Wayne died and Wayne left everything to Alfred. So Alfred goes, you can borrow the Rolls Royce, just bring it back without a scratch. I love that. But my favorite Alfred moment in this movie is when Wayne Manor is burning down and Batman goes, I failed, Alfred. I completely failed. Everything's like falling apart. I failed my father. Why did we fall, Master Bruce? So we can learn to pick ourselves up. You haven't given up on me. Never. I love that.
That moment gives me chills. That gives me chills.
That is the best Bruce Wayne Alfred interaction in those three movies. Granted, I still like Jeremy Irons more as Alfred, but that's besides the point.
Can we actually kind of give a shout out to how philosophical this movie is? Like it actually kind of like it's not who we are underneath. It's what we do that defines us. Like I really love that moment where like Rachel Dawes says, "Who are you?" And he says, "It's not who I am."
He just says it, and then instantly she knows. And then when he extends the bats, she's like, she like smiles like, "Of course, Bruce."
Because he always had a flair for the dramatic, like. And
I will say, so to Ladia, I like how they kind of played off the whole comic book thing where like he goes, "Okay, I will become a bat because bats frighten me." And that's the reason why he's like, bats frighten me, and now my enemies will share my fear. I love that.
And then he does like that throw, and like
throwing it in beds. By the way, you can't tell me anyone he's thrown that at has died. I'm sorry, that's gonna happen.
Well, they're gonna need stitches at least.
Yeah, stitches. Now I will say also, okay, this movie of the three had the best Batman voice. It's like you had this.
Do I look like a clown?
Exactly.
Yeah, this one had the best. It got progressively worse. Dark Knight, it was okay. Dark Knight Rises, it was crap. That's why it's like, let me put it this way. Compare that to this.
Do you bleed?
Yeah.
You will.
You will. I love that. I love that.
I mean, Christian Bale's throat was probably bleeding towards the end of the.
Oh my god! I bet he was coughing up blood like no tomorrow. Oh,
tea. I need honey tea.
Fun fact, right? Fun fact.
What's up?
The Batman Begins voice was more better than the Dark Knight and the Dark Knight Returns voice.
Oh yes. Swear
to me.
Swear to. Actually, wait. I have that. Hang on. I'm pretty sure I have that. Where is that?
Swear to me!
That was badass. That whole scene where he just keeps dropping the dude. I'm like, oh, that's what I think of that one scene whenever I play Arkham and I'm interrogating someone. Like there's a scene in Arkham where he runs the Batmobile's tires on someone's head and is progressively pressing on him.
I really like that scene where he's like arresting Falcone. It's like you haven't seen the bat suit yet, and he's like, "Who are you?" And it's like you got like this kind of the shot. You see him, and he says, "I'm Batman."
Wait,
that is so
even
perfect.
better. It's even better. So Falcone's in the car and he's like nervously loading the shotgun, but then you also feel the car start to like shake because Bruce Wayne's climbing on the car. His arm comes down, pulls him up, and then he goes,
I'm Batman.
he goes, nice coat. I will say also,
yeah, that's literally the homeless guy that he gave the coat to like 8 years prior. Like, this film is actually really good with setup and payoff because like my favorite thing is like they introduce the blue flower is literally
yeah,
and then like he has that like the initiation which kind of says the effects and then they bring it back as a fear gas. I love that they literally pay that off.
That's why I love Nolan so much because he can do that. And my favorite scene in this movie kind of that established it was when Batman hits the button in his shoe and then Gordon's like, "What is that?"
I'm Batman.
Wrong one.
Mega.
And then because what that establishes is Batman's a badass. Because can you imagine? Establishes his legend. Can you imagine you're a cop explaining what just happened? You go, okay, so we had this place surrounded. Then a swarm of bats attacked us.
So fun fact, you know that scene where he's like investigating and like the kid pops up and he like gives him the gadget?
That's
That
Malfoy.
is actually no, that's not Malfoy.
Oh no, not Malfoy.
That's Joffrey. That's Joffrey.
Yeah,
that's Jackie Gleason. That is literally the person who would become the king of Westeros. Like that is Joffrey Baratheon.
And everyone's like, "Can you just let that kid die?"
You know what's really sad, Jackie? Like if you ever watch interviews with Jackie Gleason, he's actually like a really soft-spoken, nice person.
Yeah, I know.
It's like if I ever had an opportunity to have lunch with Jackie Gleason, I would do it.
But the guy that was dropped, hanging upside down, and Batman says, "Swear to me," he was actually in Too Fast, Too Furious. Fun fact.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Well, so and one of the things I like about this is, correct me if I'm wrong, Rachel's not a comic character.
No.
Okay, so she was made up for this movie because I was like, well, they could have used Vicky Vale, but I guess they wanted to have a different dynamic than like. Plus, they had already done the Batman journalist relationship, and I believe they
could have done Jezebel Jet.
Okay, I don't know who that is.
Fun. Yeah.
That's one of I think that was like 90s, like late 80s, early 90s kind of thing. That was one of with girlfriends.
Yeah, Rachel Dawes was a fictional character apparently for Christopher Nolan's Batman Begins.
Now here's the question: which actress do you prefer more as Rachel, Maggie Gyllenhaal or the one in this movie?
I prefer Katie Holmes, honestly, because
Really?
I feel like I don't know. I like the understated, the quiet strength that Katie Holmes does, whereas Maggie Gyllenhaal's Rachel Dawes is a bit more overt, aggressive. It's almost like an entirely different character, honestly.
True.
Rachel Dawes is like Katie Holmes's was more like the feminine strength, kind of like quiet but like don't give up, but like she'll pull out a gun if she has to, like whereas Maggie Gyllenhaal was trying to do more of like a masculine kind of strength and it just didn't really come off. Like for example, that the scene where she's walking out of the courtroom with Two-Face, and she says they could have given you the day off and like implied that they go to have sex. Like Katie Holmes' Rachel Dawes would never be that forward.
Yeah. Yo, what's up, JJHeat?
And
not impressed.
Had to because he's here in spirit.
He's here in spirit, but he's not impressed.
Yeah,
I can feel the heat. I can feel the heat.
Look, can you hear what the Rock is cooking? But anyway, so now let me ask you this: what's your favorite? Actually, before I ask that, one more thing that I actually liked is that instead of showing like a montage of like Batman training up and making his gear, they kind of did it in a way that was less jokey. And what I mean by that is that there was no like pop music as he's like assembling his gear. It's all Hans Zimmer score.
No paint it black while he's decimating.
Yeah, I know. That one was the one where I was like, okay, but why did you have to go into the actual song? You could have just kept like
the symphonic version was fine. I mentioned that in the review. But when they ended that and then went into the song, it just felt excessive.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. What's your favorite scene from the movie? I'll start with Taladia.
Favorite scene? Does it have to be a ass? Does it
What?
have to be? I'll tell you the answer. What's it called? Gordon and Batman at the end.
Yeah,
I
when
never
you
said.
hold the
I
Joker
never
card.
said thank you, and you'll never have to.
That was a meme after the Snyder Cut got released. It's like, Zack Snyder, I never thanked you in the Snyder Cut fandom. You'll never have to. I love that. But yeah, and they showed like the Joker card because you know what movie 2 is going to be, and we get one of
And
the
that
best portrayals of
and
Joker.
the cape looked amazing.
Yeah, he flies away. Yeah, exactly. That cape, and it's kind of funny. The music too kind of sounded like a cape too on certain scenes. If you notice, it kind of sounded like cape flapping.
Cape
Hmm.
flapping. As
Yeah, but let's say this: I loved. Let's talk about this for like a Batman score. I think that Hans Zimmer did a pretty kick-ass job with the score.
You want to know my favorite scene?
What?
Go on.
You kind of skipped over me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go
But
ahead.
mine is when it's like he's going to face like where Chillian like it's the Batman, and they're like saying like they start going through like his all his like different like I hear he does this, I hear he does that, and it's like when a stranger comes prowling in the like Cillian Murphy's acting is just so great in that scene. I love it.
Do you know what I think? I think you ought to lighten up. But I love where Batman sprays
PCO
him.
medicine doctor.
I love he sprays it, and he's like, "Who are you working for?"
Dr. Crane is in here. If you'd like to make an appointment, I'm sure. Yeah, like I love how he has like this blank expression on his like. Cillian Murphy is really an underrated actor.
And then you get the kick-ass tumbler scene. Oh my god! You know it's kind of funny. You can use the tumbler in Arkham Knight, and you can free roam of it if you complete all the games. So literally, with the Dark Knight suit, Nick. So literally, this scene is playing in my mind with that soundtrack. By the way, fun fact: the soundtrack are all named after different species of bats, and the first like a couple of songs, the first letter all spell out Batman. But so let's talk about the tumbler because that's like one of the most like unique ideas for a Batmobile. Let's make it a freaking tank.
It tumbles.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. The nice one, Nick.
I mean, you know I'm the king of the low-hanging fruit.
I wouldn't exactly say king, but okay. But yeah, so one of the it's like, but by the way, the Batmobile has guns. Let's remember that it has freaking cannons, it has guns, and then I love where they think they have him cornered on the parking garage. Nope, I'm just gonna go on the rooftops now. He's not on a street. He's flying on rooftops.
I just love like the cops are just like I don't even know how to describe this.
What's a make and model? Color and make is a black. Tank. That's the best he can do. It just goes over a car, and Gordon's like, "I gotta get me one of those."
And then probably one of my favorite line exchanges is like he gets back and it's like, "Mr. Wayne, what do you think that is?" Alfred says to him, like, "What's that? You're stealing my thunder, bro."
Hey, it's my stream. I can steal my own thunder on my stream. Shazam! So I also and then we actually get here's the thing. Then we get the payoff on Ra's al Ghul, and by the way, they pronounce his name wrong because I believe it's not Ra's al Ghul. I don't think
it's Ra's.
It's Ra's. Good. I would
say it was this film that really kind of set in the wrong pronunciation. Because no one really knew Ra's al Ghul before this, and then you had this film, which is like people's biggest exposure to it, and I think that's the reason why everyone calls him Ra's al Ghul is because of this film.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of funny when Al Ghul showed up in Arrow and they actually said Ra's. That was the one thing they got right, first off. And it's like I'm watching it, I'm like, which do I believe?
Also in Batman Beyond. Batman Beyond actually made a joke about this like 4 years before Batman Begins. Because like in the episode where Talia comes back, they actually make a Ra's joke in it. It's so great.
And Talia, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's pronounced Ra's in Gotham Knights, right?
Yeah, Ra's, yeah. Okay,
good. Just making sure. I want to make sure that all the DC things have the correct pronunciation because it's really annoying when they say Ra's. It's really stupid.
What's really bad is like that scene where it's like, so it's Ra's al Ghul. It's almost like they're trying to tell you how to pronounce it. It's like, it's like you got it the wrong way. It's like it feels like the way the line is set up is to teach you how to pronounce it, and it's just like you taught me wrong. You failed me.
And then we have like Ra's al Ghul. I want to emphasize that, explaining his whole plan to Bruce about how like the League was behind every ancient civilization falling apart throughout history, and I'm like, oh, that is so cool. How they tie this one through. It's kind of like when you think about it, they were the Court of Owls before there was the Court of Owls in a way.
Also, it's important to note that they are clearly based off the League of Assassins from Batman, but I think they changed it to Shadows just because like League of Assassins, it sounds maybe kind of corny, but also like violent.
Yeah, it's the same reason why in Teen Titans that they only refer to Deathstroke as Slade, because Deathstroke.
Oh no, I'm dead. What's the cause of death? Stroke.
Stroke. Yeah, exactly. But and then we get they burn down Gotham, and then we get we get this funny Alfred scene where he's like, okay, so Rachel's drugged in the basement. Can you go bring her home? So he's putting her in the car, and the two neighbors see him, and he goes, a bit too much, unfortunately. I love that. I love Michael Caine as Alfred. He had the best responses. He was more the fatherly side of Alfred, while Jeremy Irons was more of the sassy side of Alfred.
I love that he had to like move his golf clubs to like.
I love that. Yeah, that's great. And then we get the whole scene. How do you expect to do all those push-ups if you can't even lift a bloody log?
Also, there's a scene in there that may have inspired a scene in Screecher Shoe 2.
Really? Ooh.
Yes. Bats are nocturnal, Alfred. Yes. But for billionaire playboy, 3 o'clock is pushing.
Batman. What's up, Batman?
Hey, Batman. Welcome again.
Actually, you know what? Since we actually have a celebrity, we actually have Batman in the chat.
I'm Batman.
No, you're not Batman. He's Batman.
Yeah. Actually, wait. He's the right Batman. He's the Affleck Batman.
He's the hero. He's the hero we need, but not the hero we deserve.
Yeah, exactly. So now, by the way, I will say it's actually an interesting choice to make the first villain Ra's al Ghul in the League of Shadows, as opposed because you would think it would be because if I were to do this, it would actually be kind of cool if they were the last movie villain, and what they did was that the League was behind the whole thing from the very beginning. Like keep Ra's. In other words, everything from the beginning to when Batman leaves the island retreat and returns to civilization, that stays the same. But then at the end of it, you find out everything else was League.
I have a feeling that's what they're gonna do with if they actually get a Batman trilogy for Robert Pattinson. I feel like the third movie is gonna be Court of Owls, because like there's kind of like a little bit of like underhandedness, like fingers behind the shadows. I really feel like in this universe, having the Court of Owls be behind everything and have it be like a third movie kind of reveal is what they're going for.
Yeah, 100%, because they clearly set that up in the first movie, like clearly, almost as clearly as they have Thomas Elliot, but that's besides the point. So,
and also how they set up a potential Robin.
Mm-hmm. And I will say, Cillian Murphy killed as Scarecrow.
Oh my God!
Killed. Yeah. I love. He goes, "You want to see my mask? I know it's not scary. It won't be scary to someone like you, but you see, my patients, they're terrified of it." And he puts on like blasts them. Scarecrow. I just love that. Love that. So Taladia, what do you think of Scarecrow in this movie?
Scarecrow was pretty cool. And it's the first time we ever got a live-action Scarecrow, to be honest. And fun fact, Cillian Murphy was going to play Batman.
Yeah, he was one of the actors considered, along with Henry frickin' Cavill.
No, Henry Cavill wasn't the top 3 picks, though.
No, but he was one of the actors being considered for the role.
No, there's no video on it on YouTube, I'm pretty sure.
There's an article on it by John Campia. But
there is video of Cillian Murphy.
Yes, I know him. I'm not saying that Cavill was in the top 3. I'm just saying he was one of the actors they were considering. But so let's continue on. Yeah, exactly. Murphy auditioned for Batman. Now, All right. Now, let me ask you this. So, what I find it interesting now. While I appreciate what they're doing with having like a portion of Gotham get like taken over by fear gas, but it's kind of funny. They've done that in pretty much every Batman, practically every Batman story is someone takes over Gotham. So it's like, why does everyone live there anymore? It's like, we think about it. City of Bane, Fear State, this, the Batman. Why does anyone live in Gotham anymore? The property value must the like property taxes must be really low to get people to stay there.
Insert stereotypical Detroit joke here.
Yeah, exactly. Now, and so another thing I think this movie was pretty good at is adapting Frank Miller's Year One. I mean, it was clearly doing Year One, and maybe a little bit of like. I'm trying to see what other Batman comics did you see like as clear inspiration for this movie, do you think?
Well, Batman Year One for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Year One.
Batman Year One, and I would say Batman. I can only think Batman Year One.
But was this also Hush? Because I see a little bit of like the technology side on Hush.
No, not
Alright.
not Hush. I don't think Hush. But I think definitely Batman Year One.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's true, but yeah, it was clearly Year One, and honestly, it was a pretty close adaptation. That's what I like about Nolan, except for when it comes to Talia al Ghul in the third movie. But I'll talk about that in the third movie because that was so stupid. I liked Bane though. I think he got, while it wasn't like a version of Bane that I think worked well. While it wasn't my favorite version of Bane, it worked for what it was doing. But my point is,
I think Tom Hardy, acting wise, is a great choice for Bane. I don't like some of the characterizations, like they basically made him a simp for Talia.
yeah.
Also, the fact that his mask was pain reliever, not venom, was really freaking stupid.
He didn't even use Venom.
I mean, I could be fine with him not using venom, but the fact that the way that they justified his mask was for pain relief was really freaking stupid.
Yes, exactly. It was really hard. I don't know why it's allowed to left, but besides that, yeah.
I guess he didn't like my interpretation of Bane.
Yeah, I was raised in the darkness, shaped by it.
I was born into it. I didn't. You got to bring a little Southern into it, you know, because you got that kind of like Southern gentleman. You're like, you merely adopted the darkness. I was born into it. I didn't see the light until I was already a man, and by then it was too late. You think darkness is your ally?
My browser just crashed. So.
Oh, okay. So now let me. Okay, so one of the things I really loved, one of my other favorite parts of the movie is when they raise the bridges and like all the cops are on the island and they're taken over by Scarecrow fear toxin. Gordon's like, "Hey, we need backup." Then the police commissioner Loeb is like, "There's no one else to send." At that moment, the Batmobile like freaking barrels across the gap, and you hear
let's be honest, we all know who it's probably named after.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I said Loeb. Jeff Loeb, baby.
I'm not sure if it was meant as an insult, but obviously, clearly, he was named after Jeff Loeb, who was the writer of both Hush and Batman: The Long Halloween, which The Long Halloween is what would go on to inspire the Batman. And
also, to a certain degree, Dark Knight. But I will say, Long Halloween is one of the best Batman stories ever written. I'm going to say that right now.
You pronounced Hush wrong.
Yeah, sure. Drug. I'll send you the link. That's fine. And well, yeah, Hush is fantastic. I'm not disputing that. That's why I said one of the, because my favorite Batman story is a tie between Hush and White Knight. Those are my favorites. But besides that, and I liked how one of my favorite scenes is that after he leaves Rachel and he's like gliding, and you see the people looking up at him, and he looks like a demon Batman.
Oh yeah,
it's like a lot of
it's like the flaming horse, yeah.
Yeah, Crane? No, Scarecrow. I freaking love that. It's so good. I love it so much.
Notice she's also holding Jamie Landis. He's also holding Joffrey in her arms.
Really? Yeah, that's good. I love that. And I was like, I told you he'd come. And then he goes, you could die. At least tell me your name. And then she goes into the whole line. It's not who we are underneath, but what we do that defines us. And I agree with you, Nick. That's such a great way to frame the movie because that's exactly the thesis of this movie.
Yeah, and literally she reaffirms it at the end where she kind of puts a hand on his face and says, "This is your mask." Because, like, up until then, it was all about the dual identities. Because, like, the idea of Batman being his true face wasn't really a concept that hadn't really gone into the public consciousness yet. It was really Batman Begins that really kind of brought that to the forefront, the whole Batman is a true face and Bruce Wayne is the mask. Before that, it was the dual identity. He's both it's like what they said in Batman Forever. It's like if I have to choose between Bruce Wayne and Batman, I'd rather not choose at all. He chooses to be both Bruce Wayne and Batman.
Yeah.
So it's like,
hey, what's up, Draga?
Hey guys, how we doing?
We're doing pretty well. But yeah, I agree with you, Nick. And I also like when, like, at the end of the movie, Rachel goes, your father will be very proud of you. And that's a reference to before in the movie when he was going to kill Joe Chill. Essentially, he goes, your father will be ashamed of you. Although
after slapping him.
I'm glad that this was pre-Flashpoint because I couldn't see that Thomas Wayne playing the Batman Flashpoint.
I feel like the only Thomas Wayne I could ever see playing Flashpoint Batman would be Jeffrey D. Morgan, of course.
Yes,
and I think that was always meant to be the case.
But the thing is, in this version, Ra's al Ghul literally points out that your father's death was not your fault. It was because your father failed to act. And he said the willingness to do stuff, that is what matters. It's like the father could have diffused the situation, grabbed the barrel of the gun, all that kind of stuff. It could have gone badly. But the fact he didn't do anything, that's why his father basically killed himself.
And you notice in BVS, check this out.
Yeah.
Before he dies, you see Thomas Wayne goes into like
you could hear like
the
the
criminal
blood crunching, like
he
at least tries.
Yeah,
he at least tries. So say what you want about Zack Snyder again using the Batman parent scene. At least he had Thomas Wayne do something.
Yeah, and you noticed Thomas Wayne, he put everyone behind him. So at least give him props for that. What
I liked is that when we first, by the way, that's badass. It's Arkham Scarecrow. That's so badass.
Yeah, this is like the coolest design ever. I don't even know. Is this his face or what? Like,
I think he's wearing a mask. I think.
Yeah, I think Arkham Scarecrow is probably the best.
I know he got messed up by Killer Croc, like in Asylum, and he's got like something wrong with his leg. I don't know what that's about.
But I loved where we first see Gordon, he puts the coat around Bruce to tell him everything's okay, and then that gets referenced in Dark Knight Rises before Batman dies.
And like again, also you can hear like when Bruce is kneeling down like in front of his dead parents, you can hear that orchestra, and then like you can hear that again in The Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I love about Nolan's Batman movie. Nice is that Nolan and Nick, you said it earlier. Nolan's good at setting something up and then paying it off later. For sure. He's like Snyder in that way, which is it's a wonder why they're close friends.
Yeah.
I love how Nolan is one of the people, in addition to Deborah Snyder, who saw the Whedon cut and said, no, do not let Zack see this.
It probably would break his heart. I don't think Zack's ever seen the.
Yeah, I don't like. If he did, I think he would laugh at all the things that Whedon did.
Well, now he would laugh at because he's had his redemption.
Yeah, he's had his.
But if this was like after it got released, his heart would be broken.
Yeah.
Look what they did to my boy!
They massacred my boy. Yeah, exactly. It's so weird because I would love to see him do like one of his like Vero watch parties of the Whedon cut, and then watch him tear the thing apart. It'd be so good.
Oh, yeah, that would be.
It's like
Oh, in
what? It's
Batman
like
Begins,
I could have had that mouth done in 5 minutes and a toothpick.
You know what's kind of funny? You're right. Snyder could have done that better.
Give me a Silicon Valley workstation from 1995 and 5 toothpicks, and I can have that done in 30 minutes.
What were you saying, Draga?
So like I just gotta say, in the ending for Batman Begins, it's got the best tease for the Joker. Like,
Yes,
he
the
hands him the
card.
card, and he says, "I'll look into it."
Mhm.
And then like,
Even better, the whole speech on escalation.
Yes.
The one in the Dark Knight.
Yes,
No,
Dark
Batman
Knight.
Begins.
Oh, but
It's like,
that one.
It's like
Yeah.
we use semi-automatics, they use automatics. We start wearing Kevlar vests, they wear armor-piercing rounds. And if you start wearing a mask, well, double homicide, bank robbery, hands a card, flips it over, it's a Joker.
It's
I'll
like
do
the
it.
best setup ever. I wish I was. I mean, I was like probably 2 when the movie came out. Like, I wish I was there to see that movie, like in theaters.
In
to see
theaters and hear
everyone's
the reaction.
like,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you would have loved it, trust me.
that's like got to be the best setup ever. Even like in the Batman, like the one that came out this year, like
I was 17 when it came out, so
Wow.
all right, like when the Batman that came out this year, they did not need the Joker. I'm sorry, like
No, they didn't.
they didn't.
yeah, that was excessive, honestly.
I'm like, okay, you feel shoehorned in. Thanks, Jeff Johns or someone. I don't know. But like,
Oh, Jeff Johns.
yeah, it just felt the design for that Joker felt so. Like, I know they're going through like he's messed up and stuff, but like he looks too messed up. Like his teeth.
But Heath Ledger was messed up, and it was.
Oh yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
but like he wasn't.
you want to know how I got these scars?
Wanna know
No,
how
but I know you got these.
Batman. You want to
Yeah,
know?
I,
how I
I'm
got
not
these
crazy. I'm
My
not.
father was a gamer.
Yeah, I love where the funniest line in this movie with that gave me pause. Like, okay, what was when they're in the train going toward Wayne Tower and the track is destroyed and Batman is about to make his escape. He goes to Raish. I won't kill you, but I don't have to save you. You're still killing him, dude.
Yeah. Bro, like this,
Semantics.
this movie's got like the best quips ever. I'm sorry, it's better than
Yeah.
any MCU movie. It's like
Yes.
when he goes to the party, like when he gives keys to
Yes.
of his cars to someone, the guy says, "Oh, nice car," and he says, "Yeah, you should see my other one." That's a funny ass line.
Or the
when he's talking.
Didn't you get the memo?
No. It's even better because there's an earlier scene where Harley Earl fires like I'm getting rid of this department and firing you. Didn't you get the memo? But there's also really another callback in the party scene where it's revealed that because like part of the subplot is Wayne Tech is going public, and he's like, oh, a bunch of trust funds, charities, it's all a bit complicated, but you need to remember the future of our companies of your
I know, that's so good.
And then Mr. Earl calls him. It's like, and like Mr. Oh yeah, I bought it through a bunch of trust fund charities. It's all a bit technical. I swear he brings out Patrick Bateman in this scene. Like I feel like in this scene he's like Patrick Bateman's talking.
That's why I swear. Christian Bale's a fantastic Bruce Wayne. Crappy Batman.
Yeah, he's a great Bruce Wayne.
Basically, his Bruce Wayne.
His
One
Batman
at a time, guys.
was like the best in the trilogy. I feel like his voice, I feel like, wasn't too over the top. Like, yeah, he still got like the lisp and stuff. The suit was the best. This was the best one.
Suit was the best. Yeah, exactly. What's up, Nick?
Yeah.
Basically, his Bruce Wayne is Patrick Bateman, just toned down a few notches. That's really all it is.
That's why I love Affleck, because he's a perfect mixture of Bruce Wayne and Batman. He is, because when you think about it, going back to what you said, Nick, a little earlier with the Rachel scene, yeah, because technically, Batman is the one identity, and Bruce Wayne died in that alleyway. So you would think, okay, there'd be one identity, but Affleck communicates that. What's up, Nick?
I know this isn't really Batman Begins, but like one of the things I really love about Ben Affleck's Bruce Wayne is he kind of brings in like that Southern gentleman kind of like thing.
Yes.
Because like if you see the way he kind of talks, he talks like a like a southern aristocrat kind of thing. Like he's got like kind of that, the thing about maybe it's just a Gotham in me, but like people dressed as clown. Like he's got that kind of like southern drawl a little bit. I love it.
Or like where he goes, it's kind of hypocritical because whenever your guy saves a cat out of a tree, you write a puff piece editorial. When he wants to, he can burn the whole plant down.
And if you listen to the thing, he's got kind of like, it's a little bit subtle. It's not like full on, but he's got that kind of like a slight kind of southern effect, and I love that so much.
And the one thing that Affleck has got is that darkness with Bruce Wayne. Like when he comes down that elevator in BVS, and he's like this, and he looks at the bat suit, and you see that dark, like angry stare at. I'm like, that is
that
Batman.
turns good, man. Cool.
That is literally Batman.
I love the way they revealed. Okay, this is the last thing I'm going to say about Ben Affleck, but like in BVS, where like they shine the light on, it's actually genuinely scary. Like the way they it's like shining a light, and you see a bat up in the corner. You're like, oh shit!
No, he's hanging on the wall in the beginning, and the cop's like, oh no!
Like I would do the same thing too. Anyway, so I just started blasting.
Yeah, exactly.
What did you guys think of Alfred in the movie? Like,
I liked it. I liked it because of that scene in the elevator when he goes, "Why do we fall, Master Bruce? So we can learn to pick ourselves up."
Which is in itself another callback because the father said that to him after he fell into the well.
Yeah, and he said,
so that's another callback. So like this film was really good about sorry.
And he said like, and it was like, "You still haven't given up on me." Never. I love that. That's so good.
I love Alfred has also got like the best lines in the movie. Like when he knocks out like one of Raish's people, he says, "Oh, I hope you weren't part of the fire brigade." And he helps Bruce out of like the rubble
with a golf club.
Yeah. Oh, when he helps Bruce up like from the rubble and stuff, like he says, "All these push-ups and you can't even lift this up."
I love that.
Another good one is it's like, why don't you go out and have some fun? Maybe if you're pretending to have some fun, you'll have a little bit by accident.
I love that. Yeah, he's good. He's my second favorite Alfred. Number one being Jeremy Irons, because Irons gets that sass from Alfred.
Yeah, he does.
I'm sorry, but like I do think if like they had Michael Caine in Zack Snyder's Justice League, I really want to see that, like how Michael Caine would act in the tea scene with Gal Gadot over the tea. Like, you got to admit, Michael Caine would be better in that scene. I mean, Jeremy Irons did a great job, but like, I just want to see Michael Caine fussing over tea with Wonder Woman, and Wonder Woman just like humoring him. I love that scene.
My favorite Irons line is when he goes, "Looks like you're still gonna live or something, but not for want of trying," or something like that. Oh wait, I don't deserve you, Alfred. No, sir, you don't. I love that.
When it's at Luthor's party, he says, "Go upstairs and socialize."
You might make an honest person of you. I love that. That is so good.
And you got to realize the woman he finds is Wonder Woman, Wonder Bat.
Kick him out.
Thank you. There you go. I gotta do that.
You and Wonder Bat, Jared. You don't like Wonder Bat?
No.
To be fair, I'm just doing that to tease him. Like that. This is just.
I know. That's why I bring you back in, because otherwise I'd say, "Nope, you're done."
I'm just doing that to tease.
Oh
my God! I said Wonder Bat and Tevye.
Oh my gosh! What's up, Tevye? I'm gonna have by the way, Tevye, I will be making a Super Sons intro for you whenever you come in the chat, because I got it at this point. We didn't even say, I love that, because when you said, "Oh my God," I thought Snyder Queen showed up. Like you say, like Wonder Bat and Snyder Queen shows up.
I got the perfect clip for Tevye. It's where John is flying a Superman, and they say "to justice the American way."
True.
Tevye, by the way, can I mention this, Tevye? You missed the live stream earlier. You really did miss a really good topic discussion on my channel.
Yeah, it's on Teladia's stream. So, by the way, in the meantime, I'm going to take a quick break from the movie so that we can promote Screecher, because we're almost at $2,000. Nick's almost at $2,000. So let me pull up the page.
Open up your wallets, everyone.
Okay.
It was special, a little special thing. So with Screecher, I'll pull it up, and there are many tiers for Screecher, but we have a very special deal, if you will. If you
don't forget to put it in the chat.
Yeah, if you back the Talent Edition, you will be allowed to be a panel member for an entire stream.
Yes.
Oh, interesting. Oh, damn! What is that?
So that's my comic Screecher. It's very
Oh,
Batman.
wow!
Yeah.
Damn.
Play the trailer for us real quick.
And by the way, Tevia, we know you want that DC to DH John Kent, so in no way does that surprise me. But
So
by
I'll
the
tell
way,
you, Jared, feel free to say no or yes to this. Tevya, if you back the Screecher Edition, we will do an entire stream on Super Sons, and you can be a part of it.
yeah, okay, fine. I did a bunch of topics on why DC should DH John Kent, and they were actually very popular, so I'll do that. But here's the trailer for Screecher. Hang on.
Oh, it's being stupid.
Yeah, okay.
Wait for it to
I may not be able to have it full screen, Nick.
That's fine. Just
Actually, I'll reload my screen. Now let's do it.
I can't hear it.
Oh yeah, I have to have it in a different.
I find I have difficulties like sharing.
Yeah, you got to share with sound. I think maybe.
No, I know. I have to have it in a Google Chrome tab apparently for that to work.
Oh, that's
stupid.
That's mean.
Yeah, I know it is mean, right?
Meanies.
Here, let me do this instead. Share screen.
So basically,
Chrome tab.
Screecher is a story of a young woman named Avery Fletcher, and she's called back to her hometown after 7 years away. Her father had been convicted of crime he did not commit, and now she must don the mantle of Screecher in order to prove his innocence. So race against the clock. For if she can't do it in time, her father will die.
Is the real villain Reverse Screecher?
I see what you did there, George.
No, but it is based off of the woman who ruined Star Wars. So
it was me, Screecher. All right, so here we go.
It was me, Screecher.
My name is Avery Fletcher. After 7 years away, I have come home with only one goal: to save my father. But to do that, I can't be the woman I once was. To honor my father's legacy, I must become someone else. I must become something else. I must become Screecher.
all right, scroll down, show some of that beautiful art.
All right.
Oh, damn.
So what
Did
we
you
got
draw
here-
this?
I'm the writer on it. That's the cover.
Oh wow.
It's very Alex Rossi, and I love it.
Yeah, Tevya. She actually, Raven is partial inspiration for her. So yeah, you're on the money for that one.
It's
Yeah,
Raven-
her monologue kind of reminds me of Arrow, like the first few seasons of Arrow.
That's actually what I was going for.
Yeah. Arrow was really fire.
By the way, sorry if I'm not talking as much. I'm trying to transfer everything to a new browser so I don't get disconnected.
And this is art from the
Okay.
book, by the way. So this is actually actual pages.
Oh, cool.
And then that's the villain, Kathleen Johnson.
Kathleen Kennedy. Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah,
two
exactly.
people who ruined Star Wars. If you look at the last name too.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly. And also, her assistant is named Lucas Stevens. So I got that double kind of thing going.
So here are the tiers. You have all the comics, which gives you all. Actually, no, Nick, you want to walk us through the tiers?
So the featured tier is all the comics. That's the second to highest tier. Basically, you get everything, all the non-collector based stuff. You get the comic, the holo comic, trading cards. You get the holo card stickers as well as a print, and you get all that for $50. Plus shipping. And then then from there, like if you want digital, it's just $5. Just a physical, it's $10, and these are all kind of plus shipping. Got like the goodie bag, which gets you like the trading cards, the stickers for $30. And then the Talent Edition is the really good one. That's the one that Jared got. That's the one that's going to get you a ticket onto the show. You get everything, but you also get your name in the book. You get a third comic that is going to be spot foil in like purple. So like the title is going to be foil purple. They're going to be limited to 25, and that's all there's ever going to be made. They're going to be hand numbered. And also, the print you get with it is actually going to be signed by both me and the cover artist, Zevius. Which, Zevius is actually a really cool artist. He actually does a lot of work for Hollywood. Like, he actually does storyboard art and concept art for Hollywood people. Like, he has a lot of productions he's worked on. So, I got a good deal.
So that's what we got for Screecher. Again, back it. First off, if you back it and send us proof of backing, number one, you will get a shout out on the show. That's number one. Number two, if you back the Talent Edition, you have a ticket to any future stream. And Tavia, if you back it, we will do a Super Sun stream and you can be on the panel.
So what do you think, Drogo?
Yeah, this looks really cool. Like I made like a comic like 2 years ago, or 3 or 2 years ago. Yeah, it was like a school project that like didn't really do anything.
Yeah, if you're thinking about backing it, it's actually only got a few hours. It's got about 30 something hours left, so there's not really much time left. So if you want to grab it, I'd say
I'll have to put the link in my.
I'll DM you the link. Drago.
Oh no, I've got it from the Indiegogo.
All right.
So right now, we unlocked the first stretch goal, which is like an extra sticker, and at $2,000, which is less than $50 away. So like Drogo, if you grab all the comics tier, you'll be the hero that gets us into the next stretch goal. Because $2,000, you'll get a set of 3 prints based off of concept art from both Screecher, and then Kathleen and Lucas. You'll get like 3 prints included with the comic. And everyone who got the physical edition will get that. So we're and I just want to end the campaign with the $2,000. I'm so close. And all it takes is one person grabbing that tier exactly that's on the screen right now.
Damn. Oh.
Yeah, so you can be the hero.
Oh. Yeah, I'll have to look into this. Like,
if you do end up getting me to the stretch goal, let me know. I'll give you a shout out on my Twitter and whatnot.
Oh yeah.
And I'm writing a comic myself. I'm just waiting for like some more of the book to be done before I launch the Indiegogo. It's actually done by the art's done by Dawson of the 4 Nerds.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's doing the art for my comic.
I'm my wallet is waiting in anticipation for that to drop so I can back it.
Actually, wait. I'll give you a little preview of the cover that we're working on. It's called Thunder
really
Goddess Issue 1 Perception. Hang on, let me zoom out a little bit because it's a little too zoomed in.
Wait, you're talking about this Dawson here?
Yeah. Dawson, if you're watching this, that was Drago, it wasn't me.
Yeah, that was me. Yeah, he met Zack Snyder recently.
Yeah, I know. We're all very jealous. I'll get him on the show and we'll talk about it.
How would you feel if Dawson got Zack Snyder to hold a copy of your comic?
Oh,
you would frame that. You would frame that.
I would frame that picture and keep it on my bedside table.
Oh, Zach.
So anyway, here's the cover. This is like the main character who's forced to flee her home because the being that's my approximation of Dark Side is taking over. She comes to Earth, meets my version of the Justice League. It's based heavily on Zack Snyder's Justice League, obviously.
Of course.
Yeah, I combine a lot of her origin with like Superman and Wonder Woman, and that she's an immortal princess with like superpowers, but she's like just to flee her home, to flee danger, and then eventually it's going to be like I think 3 books. Right now, I'm working on volume 1, it's currently 3 chapters, and in between books 1 and 2, I'm going to do an anthology book where all my comic book writing friends can contribute to the origins for any of the characters.
Oh, nice.
So we got that. I'm not like starting it. I'm not like doing Indiegogo until it's like almost there. What's up, Nick?
Yeah, well, first off, you're doing the right thing by doing that. That's actually the smart thing to do. So props to you. Also, I'm a comic writer.
Yeah, I told you can write a thing for it.
I'd be happy to do.
I'm a comic writer myself.
Oh, okay then.
Looks like we got another volunteer.
Okay then. So there's that, and Taladia wanted to plug his YouTube channel, so I'll pull that up.
Yeah, guys, make sure you guys sub to my YouTube page, guys, as I'm gonna be doing bi-weekly shows with Jared, Nick, JJHeat, and many other guests. There will be this week. We just did one about 2 hours ago. Was it, Jared?
Mm-hmm.
2-3 hours ago. Yeah,
2 or 3 hours ago.
So guys, I'm 1 away from 255. So as you can see on my live tab, Jared, if you can show them the live tab, you can see what I've done.
Hang on, I'm just dropping the link to your YouTube in the chat.
Yeah, I just looked it up on YouTube, subscribed, and I will. Yeah.
There you go. I've got a stream coming up in 2 weeks with JHeat, and as you can see, it's already pre-planned. So we talked about a lot of DC stuff, and we'll be doing that bi-weekly, once every 2 weeks on my page. And I've got a Gotham Knight stream coming up next week, so be excited for that, and so much more to come, including reactions to potentially the Air Cut.
Oh yeah.
I think that'll come out. I think that's coming out soon.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
so
should.
react-
Like, especially like with now James Gunn, apparently being friends with David. Well, I mean they are friends, but like, yeah, like I think it's a whole lot easier. That should come out soon.
And he has expressed support for the movie coming out. So he's like, okay, fine. So back to Batman Begins. Now, Draga, since you came in, was this your favorite of the 3 Nolan movies?
Yeah, this is like the best. Yeah, I prefer it over The Dark Knight, and of course over Dark Knight Rises. Like this one feels like the most Batman-esque of them all.
Like, let's not forget there was that awesome scene where he goes, "What does that sound? Back up." Like how
That
like
Godzilla thing. Oh my
yeah, how
The best
badass
shot-
is that? Yeah,
So-
go ahead, Nick.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
You're missing literally the best shot in the movie where he like comes down, his cape's going, the bats are circling around him. They literally use that for the DVD cover.
Yeah, it's literally that. And then I love where he's walking down the prison cells and the prisoners are looking out as the bats are surrounding him as he moves. And I'm like, that's badass. And he like takes off a prison door and he goes, "Excuse me." And he just puts a hole in the wall. But how badass is that? It's like I would love to be one of those cops going, "Yes, we had this building surrounded." And all of a sudden, a swarm of bats came out of nowhere.
It's like, how am I going to put this in the report?
Yeah, the one thing. So, honestly, out of 10, I would give this a solid 9. Solid 9 out of 10.
9.5.
9.5. Okay, what about you, Draga?
I give it like for best Batman movie, 8.5. I'd give it.
Okay. What about you, Taladia?
The Batman Begins, I give about 8.5 to a 9.
Mhm.
Sorry.
It's about that because it's a fantastic movie. And the thing about it, I hate the suit when it goes to Dark Knight because the suit got really like light and stuff, and I'm like, I like the big imposing Batman. It's like when Rachel turns around, she tries to tase Batman, and he's just standing there.
That's a badass scene. Like it's just that shot is just so badass.
Yeah, I loved it. Yeah,
and, like I
and-
love the part where he's like, "I'm Batman," and then like the homeless guy is like, and that way he looked at the homeless guy and he's like, "Nice coat," because that's the same guy he gave his coat to like
Nice
several years
coat.
earlier.
Yeah. That's the one thing I really hope at some point in the Batfleck movie he goes, "I'm Batman," because we haven't heard Batfleck say that.
Yeah.
He hasn't said that, and I want to hear "I'm Batman" in the voice changer voice.
I'm Batman. Yeah. And like, what else was there?
I'm Batman.
Like,
I'm
Batman.
Hope starts with an H, stupid.
You don't like falafel?
I'm Batman.
Wait, and
Does it come in black?
I just love that smile as he says that. That's so like
I
Yeah,
am
like
Batman.
the scene where they're testing the car out and like Lucius is like, "Ah!" It's just fun.
I just love because that smile right there screams Home Alone to me.
Was he
Yeah.
in Home Alone?
What?
Was he in Home Alone?
No, I'm saying it's it's
Oh.
he has that Home Alone style mischief smile when he goes, "Does it come in black?" My question is, what would happen if Lucius said, "No, I don't have it in black. We just
Well,
buy it
then-
and spray paint
Well, we'll get out the spray. Here's
Paint it
$50. Here's $50. Go to Home Depot, buy all the spray paint you can, then come back here.
Do I
Kind
look
of
like
like
a cop?
I love that.
No, you don't.
Do I look like a cop?
I'm not wearing hockey pads.
Yeah, that's the next one, but still.
I'm not wearing hockey pads.
Oh, and I have a new thing. Whenever someone mentions Joss Whedon, I'm gonna use this.
He mentioned someone else, someone worse.
You're just getting tired of the why'd you say that name?
No, I just want a little variety.
You got you just like, oh, I wanted to say my, because you got caught yourself a few times.
More than a few times. So on that note, I think it's a good place to leave it. Unless you guys have anything to say about Batman Begins before Nick does his thing. What's up, Nick?
Oh no, I was gonna do my thing, but like other people first.
Oh, I was gonna say one little thing about Batman Begins.
Yeah, go ahead.
Look for little Easter eggs. There is some Easter eggs to Nolan movies prior to this.
Oh, and one more thing, actually. I forgot about this. Before we get to your thing, Nick, I want to go around the panel, starting with Taladia. Favorite? Let's do this. Top 5 favorite Batman comic books.
Oh,
Start with you, Taladia.
Sorry, is that even a question? For top favorite Batman comic is what's it called? Court of Owls.
Yes, there
right?
you go.
Yeah, that's the one I'm looking for. The Dark Knight Returns, the great
Yes.
Batman book, and Batman Year One.
Yes,
Oh, that one's good.
love that one. What about you, Draga?
I gotta say it's All-Star Batman and Robin the Boy Wonder.
Oh,
That
jeez.
story is just a mastermind that people are just. Oh, man, it's just so good.
You still don't
No, I'm kidding.
understand.
I'm sorry. I really think that comic is a comedy to me. I don't care what anyone says.
It kind of is because Batman's having sex with Black Canary as people burn up.
It's so it's so stupid. Like it just goes over the top. But like, oh god, what is the best Batman? I gotta say, Hush is one of them. Court of Owls, like Taladia said, yeah, that one's really good. Damn. I think I'm a fake fan. I don't even know. No, I'm just kidding.
You a fake fan?
I'm a fake fan. I gotta throw these all away.
You're a Snyder fan. You clearly don't
I'm a
read the
Snyder fan.
comics.
I can't read comics. That's not how it works. Damn, there's so many. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I like all of them.
All right, Nick, top 5 favorite Batman books, and I'll give mine.
All right, so Hush, War Games, Nightfall, All-Star, and then Death in the Family.
You like All-Star Batman and Robin too? Nice.
Yeah, it's a good run.
Oh,
Okay,
That's-
that's very concerning. My number 1 is Batman White Knight. Number 2 is Dark Knight Returns. Number 3 is Hush. Number 4 is Court of Owls. And number 5, I would have to say, would probably be 3 Jokers. Because it deals with a lot of the ramifications of what the Joker has done throughout the whole thing. And yeah, anything written by Chuck Dixon, absolutely.
Yeah, Tim Drake. Yeah.
And
if you look into the Bat catalog, you may see an interview with Chuck Dixon.
yeah, the Nick and I did, and we talked a lot about the origin of Bane.
You're very
So, yeah, I was born in here. We're gonna. What we'll probably do is that when we get to Dark Knight Returns, we'll do the whole episode in our Bane voices. So, Nick, what do you want to do?
So it is the 5th of November, otherwise known as Guy Fawkes Day, and I wanted to recite a poem for you guys. Now,
Okay.
Taladia knows what I'm gonna do. But yeah. And Jared, could you put my screen up? I got some little creepy ambiance music.
Are you sure it's not going to get me copywritten?
I'm assuming not. It's just kind of generic stuff, you know.
Okay, I'll give it a shot just this once. Okay.
And
By the way, real quick, Tevia, top 5 favorite Batman comics. Go. Well, while we do this. All right.
Remember, the 5th of November. The gunpowder, treason and plot. I know of no reason why the gunpowder treason should ever be forgot. Guy Fawkes and his companions did a scheme contrived to blow up old King in Parliament. All up alive, 70 barrels laid below, to prove old England's overthrow. But by God Providence him they catch with a dark lantern, lighting a match. A stick and a stake, for King James' sake. If you don't give me one, I'll take two. The better for me, and the worse for you. A rope, to hang the Pope. A pennyworth of cheese to choke him. A pint of beer to wash him down. And a jolly good fire to burn him. Holla boys, make the bells ring. Holla boys. God save the king.
What is?
Nice. When we do the Joker, when we do Dark Knight, I'll have Nick do his Joker voice because he sounds legit like Mark Hamill.
So treacherous.
Yeah, exactly. So on that note,
Lady, how do you?
on that note, gentlemen, it was a pleasure having you on. Draga, you're always welcome on the show.
Cheers.
So on that,
Yeah, it's really
stay
fun to come on.
here, work,
That
everyone. Yeah, go ahead, Talati. You had something you want to say?
Yeah, and on that note, like, subscribe, and share the stream with your friends.
Or the Joker will shank you.
Or the
Yeah,
Joker will
bro.
shank you, exactly. All right, stay work, everyone. Bye-bye.